Just saying, like, like what do yo,
I was looking for social media first off, Payne. We're broadcasting. We're supposed to be broadcasting.
yep,
Yeah,
I
we
could,
on
yeah,
Facebook,
YouTube,
YouTube, my page, your page, both Sparring Minds pages. We got all bases covered.
yeah. Well, I gotta figure out how to get mine on there, but I'm just saying, like, this thing with Kyrie has people in an uproar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's talking about he shared something on his social media that was deemed anti-Semitic.
What did he
Right.
share? Just do you know
So
exactly what?
so it was a book or a movie, and I believe it was called From Hebrews to Negroes.
Okay.
Um, and and it's like, I mean, it's tough because if you share something on your platform, most people would think that you are aligned with it. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense to me. That makes sense.
You know what I mean? Like, you put out there. And so this thing with him has just caused like a major stir. And it's like, I've seen stuff like this worse in regards to black people, and it never gets this much uproar. It doesn't get this much uproar. So I guess.
So hold on, man. We're going too fast.
Yep. Sorry.
From Hebrews to Negroes.
Yep.
What was said in this piece that was controversial? What was the? Thank you, Princess.
I think there was some references where the book or the person in the book, I guess, was showing love to Hitler, or saying like he's not that bad of a person, or something to that effect.
Yeah, and there was some false information or something someone said too.
Yeah, and it was some false information in there as well. And it's real. I mean, the president of the NBA,
he's Jewish.
The commissioner is Jewish. And in the interview with Kyrie the other day, I guess he had a chance to kind of like apologize or whatever the case may be. And people were trying to say that he's anti-Semitic because he shared that. I'm not sure if I agree with that, like that he has to be that way because he shared it. Was he passing it on as just information? Because sometimes you can share things that, again, on social media that you may or may not be aligned with. You're just passing information on, whether it to be to get another set of eyes on it, to see it, to have a conversation about it, whatever the case may be. I'm not sure, but it's caused a really, really big uproar. And it's like, we've seen stuff like this worse. This happened with black people, and it's never been like this much of an uproar, with it. Like, I mean, so like, are they saying like what Jewish people went through with the Holocaust is that worse than slavery?
Let me just say this real quick. Sparring Minds viewers, welcome to the pre-show. We appreciate y'all. We'll be getting
Welcome to the pre-show,
man. On this globe, we have 3 entities which are protected species. The first is the spotted hippopotamus that lives native to Australia. The second is white women. And the third is the Jewish community. You can't do anything which may be possibly perceived as negative to these entities without running into trouble. And that's where Kyrie Irving finds himself.
Well, you know what 2 of those 3 have in common?
I'm listening.
They run a lot of shit. So it's when you say shit, even with them, like, I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. Like, white women are probably, not even probably, they are the second most like powerful people in the world, like behind white men. Like, you know what I mean? And then Jewish people own like a lot of stuff. So
I see I think you fumbled that, Payne. I was with you. White women are the second most protected species on the planet. That's a fact, right? But I think I think the Jewish community ranks first. I think white men are third now because of the way things have been happening over the last 10 years with social. White men have fallen down a little bit.
Definitely.
There's never had to be a law made to protect white men. Do you know why?
Enlighten me.
It's because they're the ones making the laws. I got them over them. You know what I mean? Like, Jewish people own a lot of shit, but they went through so much that there had to be laws made to protect them. White men never had to deal with that struggle. Like us and the gay community also, I'll throw them in there. You know what I mean? Like, that shit's crazy.
They're very quickly top 5, the gay community. I think with the Jewish community, it's because, listen, this globe is going to protect the money, right?
Right.
The money is in the Jewish community. Make no mistake about it.
Definitely.
And so when you say something that might be possibly taken as derogatory towards that community, not only is the Jewish community going to feel the way, but everybody who's invested in the Jewish community, right?
Definitely.
And that's, listen, these are protections that this is why Black people are always up in arms, because we don't understand what these protections are. We don't get it. We're not familiar with that language. You know what I'm saying? Right. We've never experienced that. Hightower has, or whatever. But other than that, like, we don't.
Jesus.
Shout out, Hightower. Appreciate you, God. Shout out, Little. We don't understand.
Came through Machine Gun Kelly, man. Okay, all right.
I won't bullshit with you fellas. And this is a true story. I know something's supposed to stay with the family, but they know me by now. I was just talking with the Hightowers a moment ago. And true story, my brother was eating a $45 salad. I said, I don't know what the fuck kind of Madagascar's toppings you had on this salad, bro, but they play different.
What the fuck was he eating? Like, what's in a $45 salad? I gotta know that.
Who knows, man? Who knows? That's. But so Hightower plays in the rarefied air of the Jewish community with white women. He's up in that protected species of. So I don't know what I don't feel no way. I mean, I guess there was a bullshit apology Kyrie made, right, man?
Yeah, he made it worse.
Yeah, he made it
worse with that.
I mean, but like, see, they tap in his pockets though too.
Yeah, but the apology made it worse. Like, he should have just stood, like he stood on the back shit. Stand strong with this. If that's what if you put it up just because you thought it was a good movie or something like that, stand strong on it. Don't half-ass apologize. Now you made it worse. And now the people that you tried to half-ass apologize and give them some money to, they turned that shit down. They were like, fuck your $500,000. We don't accept your apology.
Isn't Adam Silver Jewish?
Yeah.
Hey,
your boss is Jewish.
Yeah.
It's tough, man.
But again, he apologized because they tapped his pockets.
I still want
probably.
They already took my money.
He's in a listen, but at the end of the day, he's in a contract year with the Nets. He probably won't be back in Brooklyn.
No, ain't no problem. He definitely out.
You know what I mean? All roads are him going to the Lakers, is where it's looking like. I think it's a no-brainer at this point that he's going to go to the Lakers. It's not many teams that would take on that kind of responsibility or entity without being able to turn a blind eye to it, or just like whatever, just come play basketball or whatever the case may be.
You were talking about that kid from the Spurs also, man. What was his situation?
So the young man's name is Josh Primo. He's 19 years old. He came in the league, I want to say maybe a year ago, 2021. And the Spurs released him. It might have been like right before the season. Like it was pretty, or if it wasn't right before the season, it was early into the season. And it was because Josh was exposing himself to the team psychiatrist or psychologist. Am I saying that right, guys? Psychologist.
I think one of the two. I forget.
Oh,
But
yeah.
we get
So I guess the statement from his agent was that he experienced a lot of traumatic things in his life. I'm just, yo, Chuck, come on, yo, Chuck, stop it, yo, come on. I'm just.
So that gives you the right to. That gives you the right to flaunt your Johnson. That don't give you the right to just out. Like, what the fuck?
Yo, listen. Yo, come on, fellas. We said we were gonna try to be serious more on this show. Yeah.
No, how can you be serious? This man's pulling out his Johnson on his psychiatrist. Like,
yo,
that's not the head she's trying to trick, bro.
Listen. Josh could have grew up in a household of where he saw that as a regular thing. Like Pop Dukes is just walking around freaking Balls Johnson, dog.
That's wild.
You know like, I don't know. It's not. No, we gotta stop it. You guys,
wild.
Come on, you guys. We gotta be serious.
Yo, hey, this is another example.
Come on, man.
Of one of these cats who you would say he needs therapy. He needs somebody to talk to. That's what you would say, right? That's what you would say, Payne. You could.
Oh, that's not the like he does like. That's not the head she's trying to shrink, bro. Like, let's get it together here.
Yo, Payne, you
like,
gotta relax.
Come on, man. Like,
yo, you gotta relax.
That's crazy. He just ruined his life because he can't keep his shit in his pants. Literally, just ruined his life. No one's ever going to sign him again. Your playing career in the States is over.
Listen, I know we're delving too much into sports right now. People are like, "What the fuck is going on with these guys?" But listen. Ime Udoka just got a job, or about to get a job.
But see, his shit was consensual.
And apparently he couldn't keep, you know what I mean? Ime couldn't keep his joint. He's down. He's knocking off freaking the owners. You know what I mean? Like,
that was consensual. That was consensual. He just pulling out his Johnson to the psychiatrist, and for it to get up to 9 times, like, what was your reaction the first time? Should have been, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm going to the owner.
Yeah,
and now if she did do that and the owner didn't do nothing, shame on him.
She should have reported it sooner if that was the case.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because 9 times is definitely, you know what I'm saying? Like, once that 3rd or 4th time, he's like, okay, yo, she liked my joint. I'm going to just keep every time I go in there.
It should have never got to that point. The owner should have did something the first time he heard something.
Right.
Would the female community say that we're wrong for even mentioning the fact that it shouldn't have gotten to 9 times? I think the female community would say, yo, fuck y'all. She has been exposed to this traumatic experience. It doesn't matter how many times, she shouldn't have had to go through that. That's what the female community would say to us, right? Whereas we would stand on the side, at least I would stand on the side of the table and like, if this was something that you didn't like or didn't want to go through, you said something the first time. I say this often about women who are being abused at home, right? I say, don't wait until the 13th time he hits you, right? If you don't like the way you're being treated, find a solution the first time this shit happens, right? Maybe the second if you want to be forgiving, right? But 9?
What if she did? What if she did say something the first time and they just didn't do nothing about it?
Well, then shame on the Spurs, of course.
Right.
I mean,
but those are the details. You know, we can't get to 9. At 3, when you realize the ownership wasn't doing something, quit. Hey, I'm going to work with the Timberwolves. Fuck this. You know what I mean? If that's the situation, if the ownership wasn't handling it, you didn't want to bring up charges. Fuck this. I'm out of here. I can understand that. 9 times?
He's a wild dude, like, that shit's crazy.
Yeah, but I kind of want to give a little bit of the blame to her. That's all. I don't know if I'm a bad guy or not, but 9 times?
You love being a bad guy, though, so it's all good.
No. Listen, man. After the second time my wife made that chicken cordon bleu shit, hey, babe, cut the shit, man. Cup of shit. It ain't getting to 9 times before I address some shit I don't like.
Yo. Ho.
Hey yo, Donut White, no muzzle. Sparring Minds live every Friday. Let's go. Look, it's Sparring Minds. If you don't know the name, look us up. You know it's all facts when you got Chef Maine cooking up a couple of brothers who know all about the struggle. Black excellence, you know we just work hard and hustle. Whenever you want that urban talk, you know we keep it real. Mr. Maritime on the mic, yeah, you know the deal is real life. Hotel High Tower bringing you the feel. DJ Payne, keep it 100. Matter of fact, keep it a mill. Let's go.
Yo,
Shout out to the God D White for doing an incredible intro for the Sparring Minds.
God D White, you dig?
Doing
Shout
incredible
out to High Tower. Shout out to Little.
Yes, sir.
You know, who's not rocking out with us. I don't know what we call this version of Sparring Minds. Me, Sammy, and Payne, we call it the Bell Biv DeVoe version. I don't know what we call this version.
We gotta get a name for it.
We gotta get a name for this. This combo has did wonders before. So
yeah.
Let's see what.
Let's duplicate that.
Yeah.
Before we get into the show,
yes.
Once again, we want to acknowledge and appreciate Feed the Hood, not only for an incredible show coming on last week, but for the incredible works they're doing in the community. That their work in the community can't go understated. So, Payne, get these motherfuckers out
Absolutely.
Definitely. It's a fact, man. I took those brothers some food last week for their Sunday feeding that they do. And it was good to build up with them and talk to them. And we're actually going to be working on something for Thanksgiving. And trying to do something. Yeah, I really kind of kept it tucked, but who better to say it on this platform right here? So yeah, the 5 of us will build internally inside and see how maybe we can either get donations. I know, shout out to Little first and foremost, because Little got the ball rolling on that a week ago afterwards, and so hopefully we'll get some donations from the OTL League, from the brothers down there. And I've already, told these brothers that for Thanksgiving, I will contribute a couple fried turkeys to their mission, to what they're doing. These brothers, again, these are some amazing brothers, good things, doing great things in the community. They had an amazing Halloween turnout for the kids last week. I think it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and even Monday. You know what I mean? They did a really good job. You know what I'm saying? So
I love it.
Yeah, definitely shout out to Feed the Hood, Slim and Reek. You know what I mean? And, another note, we were also offered from Feed the Hood. We were offered some space. I know there's supposed to be a Sparring Bee paint night in the works, and so it could be a Scope headquarters. You know what I mean? So, but we're gonna. Okay, I'm saying too much.
Coming soon. We'll figure it out.
Shout to Feed the Hood, though. We'll leave it at that.
Right.
When you got a champion in the community, it's important you put the belt on them. You know what I mean? Give them the love. Let them know that what their work is being acknowledged. So,
yes, sir.
If nothing less, we're a podcast for the people. What else we got, fellas? Before we get into, I got some shit. I got a question. Let me.
So I'm sorry. Before you.
Go ahead.
So I do want to say, we had another very, very, very unfortunate incident in the hip hop community this week. Rapper Takeoff, third of the Migos, was unfortunately shot and killed in Houston, Texas, at a dice game. Um, and from everything that's coming out, was not even the intended target of it, and it kind of sucks that happened. I think one of the bigger things to say, or is that it's unfortunate that we live in a time frame for which people choose to pull out a camera phone and take pictures and things like that instead of calling 911 for help, and doing that kind of stuff. And it's unfortunate that there's video online. I mean, this man has a family, you know what I mean? And then there's just video circulating of that, of his death or whatever it is leading up to it, or just his body. And it's crazy. We live in a time in which that's the thing to do, and everybody has to be the first person to post it or whatever the case may be. And so I just want to say that, man, it's just, we're living in crazy times with rappers, and they seem to be just dying at an alarming rate. It's so crazy, yeah. And I just watched a really good interview they did on Drink Champs, a week ago. Listen to the album, and my God, I just can't imagine what Quavo's going through to, an uncle to see his nephew die in front of him. Yeah, you know what I mean? And I can't even imagine that, because I know how I feel about my nephews, and what that would be life changing to me if something like that happened. So that's a really, really unfortunate and sad situation. And I hate to start the show off like that, but I had to just acknowledge that piece also. And if you get a chance to, Wheat TV just dropped Hip Hop Homicides, what's coming out. It's like a whole season of it. 50 Cent's the executive producer of it. First episode is Pop Smoke. So it's unfortunate that a lot of rappers are just dying at a really, really alarming rate. So I just want to, rest in peace to Takeoff from the Migos. 28 years old, not even 30 years old. It's just, whole life ahead of them. You know what I mean? And then to be an innocent bystander in a situation like that. So sorry to change the temperature of the show, but I think we are for the people, and I think that's just something we need to acknowledge our people and stuff like that in those spaces. So, rest in peace, off, man. That's crazy.
That's the temperature of today's show, anyway, man. So, elite transition work from you there. Obviously, RIP to Takeoff. And you mentioned the results, right? The results of where people were out there with their phones taking. That's the results, right? That's the aftermath.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And pardon me in advance, because you guys know sometimes I'm tone deaf to certain things. So pardon me if I say something that's crazy. Yeah, we can talk about the results. We can talk about the aftermath. But isn't there another conversation needed about the fact that these individuals, obviously making good money, are playing dice in an environment that they don't control, or it's not a controlled environment, right? So why is there not a conversation about that?
So I get that part. I definitely dicey, but I get that part, because at the end of the day, these are still young guys too, and they're human, and they like to do certain things, right? But everything that came out, they were in town prior with Jay Prince Jr., mob ties. And so if you're in someone's city who is quote unquote supposed to be one of those guys, I'm just painting the picture. I get it, but if you're in a city with one of those guys and it's supposed to be like, yo, you with me, you in my city, yo, you good, I got you, I'm gonna take care of you, blah blah blah, whoopty whoop, like, you would think you're good. Now, apparently, couldn't it be too good if in that environment, guys had straps? Most of the guys had guns. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what are we talking about?
Right. And in those environments, when you mix guns and egos and liquor
and losing money,
it's never a good thing. It's just the world we live in. It's just never a good thing. But this is the second incident in which someone was in town with Jay Prince Jr. There was a jeweler prior to takeoff. There was a jeweler that was in town with him that also was killed. This is the second person that's on your watch that's in town with you that you were riding around with and all that. This person ends up dead.
Again, you know,
I get
wasn't it someone from his own camp that hit him? Shooting at the other camp?
Apparently, he got caught in the crossfire of the shooting. From everything that reports to what's this coming out is that he was linked down, shots were getting fired. Apparently, like most people, he lift up like see what's going on. Bow, head tapped. Just coming up to see what's going on. But from all reports, it was someone on their side of the camp who was either returning fire or something at the other people. My thing is if you're in town with these people,
why are you shooting?
How did it get to a point where y'all draw guns and start shooting each other?
Well, I saw a video earlier someone had taken where they were arguing. So supposedly Quavo was losing basketball, got upset. Then they started arguing about basketball, and then the video cut off before the shooting happened. Well, with the person that posted it cut the video off before the shooting started happening, but like even still, none of that shit is anything for anyone to lose a life over or to be shooting at somebody over.
Guys, here's the thing that I'm passionate about in this conversation. And it's the fact there's a maturity conversation, right? Of understanding and being able to control your environment. Now, there are people in the hood right now who can't control their environment, right? And I get that. These motherfuckers can control their environment, right? You want to go play dice? Go to casino. Buy out the fucking casino for the night, if that's what you want to do for the night, right? Take your homies with you, right? How about that, right? So now you're in a controlled environment with your friends. There's no guns in a controlled environment. There's no possibility of life lost in a controlled environment, right? We're just here because I wanted to play some dice, and that's okay, right? So I'm not trying to be the old man, stay off my lawn. I'm not saying, nah, niggas should be playing dice. If that's your flavor, by all means, do that shit in a controlled, do it at your house with your people. That's fine, right? You decide to play dice with some niggas you don't know, right? On the word of somebody else. Yeah. And then when shit goes left, you don't understand what the fuck happened. This kind of thing should be expected.
Right. In an open carry state also. Because Texas, you if I believe, Payne, you're the gunsman of the Sparring Minds. We call Texas you the rifleman, but yeah, Texas is pretty open carry. So guys just have to strap on them, like they got their freaking cell phone or AirPods. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and yeah, because in open carry state, open carry means that you need to be able to see the gun. So if someone from a concealed carry state is in an open carry state, they may be uncomfortable when they see a gun out, which could have been the issue. Like they're getting ready, like because they see guns out, like, oh, this could go left quick. You know what I mean? But still, like that shit. What if it's over losing in a dice game and basketball arguments? Nah, that ain't it.
Right, because we're all speculating these or not, but it wasn't even over like 10 bands. It wasn't nothing.
It wasn't nothing crazy.
Yeah, it was nothing crazy as far as the monetary that were being lost. But I get it. Like you're in a position where you're a millionaire and stuff like that. Should you be playing $1,000 dice games for fun? But again, guys are still human and they're still regular people at the end of the day. And guys like to gamble. Again, I get it. Go to a casino, whatever the case may be. But again, if you're in town and you're with mob ties, and mob ties is supposed to like, and they're like, yo, you good with, I know, but I'm playing devil's advocate. Like, you should be good. You should be good in the hood.
This begs the question and the issue that comes up a lot with a lot of people that get on and they start moving differently when you have a certain level of success, there's certain shit you're not supposed to do anymore, or like certain areas you're not even supposed to go to anymore. Like you can give back to the community, and then people wonder why like some of these guys don't even come back to the community because shit like this could happen. You know what I mean? Like when shit like this happens, it raises an eyebrow. Like, damn, I want to be active. I want to be able to hang out with my people. I want to be able to do this. But then shit like this happens. Now, this is why people don't want to mingle with the people. Like certain people smarten up and just don't move that way anymore.
You know who's an advocate of that? Hightower. Hightower was an advocate of when I get on, it's my responsibility to get my loved ones out of the hood, not for me to go back into the hood, into the same soil I was trying to get out. And that makes sense to me.
No, I absolutely. The thing is, yes, absolutely get your guys out of the hood, right? But should you never go back? Should you just completely just turn your back on it?
It's not about turning your back. You can still donate resources and be a part of bettering the community. I'm not saying anything against that, right? But I'm not going to be there at 2 a.m. shooting dice on the street corner. I'm not doing that. T. Chanel, what's up? We appreciate you rocking out.
T. Chanel.
I'm donating money to the Gallivan. Here's 10 bands for a new cook for all forked up catering to do their thing on Friday nights. You understand what I'm saying? That's different. Let me come down there and cut a ribbon. Right? That's a different environment. It's a controlled environment. I'm there with the fucking mayor. You know what I'm saying? Well, because we're doing things for the community. And not because I gotta put my Timbs on and come down and sit on the crates with you. I got other things to do, nigga.
Right. They weren't in their hood. They weren't in their hood to they're from Atlanta, so they weren't in Atlanta. They were in Houston. Again, rappers go to different hoods all the time or different areas. You check in with the locals, or you check in with who are the guys in the town, like, yo, I'm here, blah, 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 whoop-de-whoop, just so, yo, you good. You move around in the state where you're not. I'm just saying, you should go and check in with the guys if they're those guys when you're in the hood, right?
I agree with that.
You should go check in.
What I'm saying is that process needs to be over with. And
to
that's
check
what we were
in?
talking about last week with Feed the Hood. We were talking about this just last week, where why does that process need to continue to happen? How about the hood just stop acting their ass? How about that? Right? So that we don't have to get to the point where niggas gotta check in and get this security. What the fuck for?
So you don't lose your fucking life. What do you mean?
But they checked in and still lost their life.
They lost it anyway.
Well, right, but maybe he was with the wrong people. Because again, like I said before, this is the second person that was in the hood with him under his watch that died.
Or maybe not be in the hood. Maybe that.
Hey.
Yeah, you can check in and still not and still move the right way. Like, all right, you checked in with them, you're good. Definitely. But that don't mean go shooting dice with these dudes on
That's what I'm saying.
Just because you checked in with them, you still don't know these dudes. Like they could be like, oh, he checked in with us, but we let him move wrong. Like he's not one of us. He's still visiting when worst comes to worst. You know what I mean? Like, so I believe in the check-in thing. Like, okay, cool, but I'm not turning my back on these dudes. I'm not you're not my people. Like, all right, I'm gonna move.
The hood by definition.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you have rappers that die in their own hood. Look at Nipsey. Look at Dolph. They died in their own hoods, though. And it's Sparring Minds. Listen, excuse me. We're going down a whole other path right now. I didn't mean to open up, but it's whatever. I'm here for it.
Let me tie it off by saying this.
Yep.
The hood is the same by definition from Maine to San Diego. The hood's going to be the same.
Universal.
It's a community of individuals who are down on their luck, normally low-income families. Normally, this is where the wolves live, right? That's normally where they live, right? And so guess what the wolves are looking for? Somebody who has.
Right.
And so when anybody, it could be Payne, driving through the hood in his G-Wagon, in his Thursday car, right? Oh shit, that nigga got a G-Wagon coming through here. Right? You're drawing attention from the wrong people.
That's unfortunate.
But it's the hood. It's the definition of the hood.
Yes, that's unfortunate. Yes, what? How do you, as someone that makes it out though, right? How do you give hope back to the next people coming after you if you can't be seen in it? If you can't be seen in the hood, how are you giving hope to the generation of people coming after you if you can't at least drive through or whatever and come check, do things, whatever the case may be? How does that look for the next generation?
You know what I've seen?
You're supposed to inspire, right?
You know what I've seen? I've seen people like Hov say they're from this community and let their impact be the fact that they got out of that community, right? And if you listen to any Reasonable Doubt, all you hear is, yo, this is what I had to do, but I really trusted in my music, and now music got me out, and you can get out too, right? That's what you hear from Hov. If you bother to listen, most people don't.
Definitely, no.
And so if you're somebody in the hood, a 10-year-old kid at the Gallivan, as an example, right? Dang, I live in the hood. I might have roaches in my cereal. Like, I might have this kind of lifestyle, right? But you know what? Chef Maine just came through here the other day. Car was clean. Got some fresh J's on. He teaching me how to cook. He's showing me things I never seen. You know what? Well, all I really wanted to be was a gangster. But you know what? He showed me a different path. That's a motherfucking inspiration. It don't need to be nothing more. You don't gotta go there and sit on the crates with them niggas. You don't gotta do that. You are inspiration in different ways, in a positive way, where you don't have to be knee deep into the soil. You don't have to do that.
Great comment.
And the people there recognize that and see it. And they love that.
Yeah.
Nina, what's up with you?
Hey. I mean, yeah.
And she's right as usual. Every time I see Nina comment, she's normally right. Well, outside when she's trashing me. But normally she's she's right on time here. She's right on time. You know what I mean?
That's on point. That's on point. You know, it's unfortunate because, again, coming up, the first line of success that I saw coming up in the hood were drug dealers, were people that were getting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so they're there to inspire. You know, it's unfortunate some people could take their stuff the wrong way, whatever the case may be, but those guys are there to also, you know, inspire the generation coming up afterwards. You know what I mean? And again, the OGs that are lacking, that are not providing the guidance to kind of differentiate different things that's going on in the hood, aren't there to tell them, like, no, I'm not trying to floss on you. No, I'm just here to inspire you. I'm here so you can know that, no, someone that looks like you came from this same environment and made it and is doing something else with themselves. That's what you would hope, at least, is that you're inspiring the next generation by what you're doing and not looking at it like, I'm coming to shit on y'all or floss on y'all to act like I'm better than y'all. Like, no, that's not what it should be for. So,
I mean, you gotta show them there's other ways. Like that's right. my thing. Like, I want to show kids there's different ways. You don't have to be a rapper. You don't have to be an athlete. You don't have to be a drug dealer to get out of the hood. Like, I was a freaking closet Star Wars geek. Yeah, I was a freaking athlete, but I did so many other things, which is why I know so many different types of people. Like, I'm not associated with, I'm associated with a lot of people, but I didn't try to live up to a stereotype like this is the only way I have to get out of here. You know what I mean? So, and there's so many different ways to get out, but people get so pigeonholed on certain stuff. It's crazy.
Yo, look at this screen right here. You have a DJ. I mean, you're more than that, Payne, but I'm just sorry to put that. You have an author. You have a chef. There's three different things right here that you see on the screen of guys who grew up in the hood who have skill sets that aren't necessarily things that coming up in the hood were deemed to be popular.
Didn't Pan grow up on like Bill Ricker or something like that? Like we ain't gonna say
No,
that.
stop it. You
Like
kidding me? Payne, listen, Payne knows more gangbangers or hung around more of gangbangers than me and you both, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Like okay.
Older, younger, my age. Like
Four Corners, okay.
Yeah.
HQB.
There was gangsters in Newton North, Payne. Is that what you want to tell me?
First of all, I've never been to Newton North.
I'm just saying, man. And that's our job. And that's our job is to inspire. We want the next author to come from the Gallivan or Mattapan, or we want that next author. We want that next DJ. We want that next chef. We want all of those things to come from the hood. It's our job to reach back and inspire these young people to show them. You know what I'm saying? Like you can wear a cool ass jean jacket with white sleeves and white glasses. You know what I'm saying? Like on a Friday night, just because that's how you feel like flossing on them.
Broadcasting from your den.
Broadcasting from your den, your man cave, okay? With Basquiat paintings in the background and shit. You kidding me? Are you kidding me?
How much of this? Let's stay here, man. I'm gonna put my shit away. Let's stay here. How much of this is driven by our culture? So we all grew up loving our culture, right? And you guys know me as being an advocate of saving and protecting our culture. I'm
Definitely.
very big on that.
Yep.
And yet our culture, especially on the music side, not the most positive, right?
Definitely.
So the content creators of our culture will tell you, well, I'm just telling you the story of how I grew up. And that's fine. Let me give you an example. Content creators, when I was coming up, Biggie, Jay, they were telling you about selling drugs and killing people, etc., etc. NWA. Maybe not so much NWA, but they were giving you
Ghetto
those kinds
Boys.
of examples. Ghetto Boys, definitely. We're giving you examples of murder, mayhem, drug dealing, drug usage was really the only way to cope with the hood, right? And what did we all say? Oh shit, these niggas is gangsters. I love them. And Scarface got on the new Jordans, and I need some of those because Scarface got them on, right? Meanwhile, those niggas like Common, right? Who's like, yo, I love poetry and butterflies are great. Man, fuck Common, man. We all like.
Nah, fuck that. It again, it's on the individuals though too, because I love Common.
Yeah.
You had to have balance in your music. There's no way you could just be all pro NWA or whatever and not like Common or fucking Luke and fucking the 2 Live Crew with all their wild shit they were talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like in music, the beauty of it is that we have so many different artists to give you balance of what you like. And the thing about music is so dope is it's all subjective. We all like what we like. Look, again, the three of us, the type of music that we all like. You know what I'm saying? Like Chuck doesn't like Mobb Deep. I love Mobb Deep. You know what I mean? Payne doesn't like Gucci Mane and Jeezy. I love those guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's different. I'm just saying everything is different.
I think there's a common denominator in our music. 90% of our music, which is drug dealing, drug usage, mayhem, violence. It's a common denominator in most of our music. That's true, especially coming up through the 90s and 2000s, right?
Women degrading too.
Women degrading for
women
sure.
degrading as well, right? So at some level, that seeps into our subconscious. You know what I mean? I want to be like these rappers who are looking successful and Biggie's out there with yachts and speedboats. I want to be like that. You know what I mean? So I'm walking around, yes, I'm sicker than your average. Now I'm saying that, now I got this kind of time. You know what I mean? Whereas the influencers who might have pulled me in a different direction, Talib Kweli, Mos, their temperature
De La
was
Soul, Tribe Called Quest, Jungle Brothers, you know what I mean? Leaders of the new school.
What happens is our community then looks at these guys as soft. True? I'm not making this up. And so they're not a part of the cool club. And everybody wants to be a part of the cool club. right? But you can't be cool and soft. That doesn't work. So what has to happen is, I think what you started to see, well, listen, I don't really listen to much of these new kids now, but what you started to see is a change in the direction of the music, right?
Definitely.
Definitely. Because well, obviously a lot of these kids, they haven't grown up. They're not gangsters no more. In 90s, everybody was a gangster. Nowadays, the kids have said, I can make music and be a cool ass nigga. You know what I mean? And so while I don't really rock with music today from these artists, I do respect that their view on the culture has changed. So where it's not, you very rarely hear about the disrespect towards women that we grew up on. It was
never. It's no way near to the level that it was before. It's no way near. Yeah, no way near.
Well,
not like it used to be. Not like 2 Live Crew, freaking NWA.
That's
like.
But at the same time, so I still think it's still there. It's just not.
Yeah.
It's not from the men. It's not as pushed as it was then. Back then, it was pushed heavily. Yep. Now those songs aren't pushed as heavily. They're making songs that they want women to shake their ass to, as opposed to them degrading them. I mean, sometimes those are degrading too, but
like from the window.
Yeah. So.
I guess for me, it's like we just had an internal argument the other day in our conversation about Dog Food album, right? And so I went back and listened to that album. 70% of the album, it was trashing shit. Yo, Pan, come back, bro. Come back, Pan. Come back, Pan. We ain't gonna argue for this process. We ain't gonna do it. All I'm saying is
that's another thing. Like,
what I'm saying is that during those times, trashing. I'd like some further clarity from Mrs. So Bell. I'd like some clarity on this.
I would think I know where she's going with it.
Yeah, I think I know. She might be going with it and stop me if I'm wrong. It's about how there's so much videos of where you have women that are showing their asses for stuff, and just it's like those are the segues. Those videos are just leaning out, like twerking, dancing, all kind of stuff like that. So OnlyFans, like.
Well, so I do have some thoughts. Let's talk about that. So
yeah, see, the twerk culture.
Okay, let's talk about the twerk culture. So I was talking with a young lady, and it must have been my little sister's friend. Now my little sister's 22-ish, 23, somewhere around there. And the response I got back about how come 40-year-olds hate twerks, right? And I'm like, I don't know if we hate twerking, right? And she quickly went on to say that twerking wasn't anything different than what chicks was doing at Freaknik in '96, right? It's just different.
It's a fact.
And it's just a different dance. And now, because this is not '96, and because now everybody has a cell phone with a camera attached, you see more.
Busted open.
You was at Freaknik in '94, '90.
Oh my God.
You saw all this right there on the car.
Listen, I didn't go to Freaknik, but if you were Daytona Beach back in those days, in those late '90s,
like we can't now. Don't get me wrong. I agree with what Shamir said, but we can't be the get off my lawn, point the finger at the young generation, old folks, because comparing WAP to Lil' Kim, Foxy, Trina. Come on, man. Just as bad.
Yeah. I was gonna say the same thing. So you're right on time, Payne. Like that Lil' Kim album. Listen, man.
Oh my God. The first 4 bars of the first song. I used to be scared of the dick. Now I throw lipstick. Like what?
Yo,
what?
Fuck all that. The poster.
I had the poster. I ain't even gonna lie. Right above my bed, I ain't even gonna lie.
So, Sparring Minds listeners, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Y'all just stay right there.
Excuse me for 1 second.
So, fellas, let me just tell you something real quick. This is real shit.
Son.
So, Jesus Lord, I hope my mother's not watching. No, we on break. Don't worry.
Yo,
my mother's watching, so
Jesus. Miss Claiborne, we love you, mama.
We love you, Queen. So that little Kim poster, I got some super glue I stole from the school. I glued the back of the poster.
I don't like where this is going.
And I glued down a picture of Dukes of Hazzard on the opposite side of it, right?
What?
This is my favorite show.
What?
And I hung it on the wall.
Yo.
But when my moms would come in, I would flip the poster around before she could see it.
What kind of shit is that?
Yo,
and then when she leave, it's back.
Yo,
that's like when you was watching. That's like when you was little and you was watching a Playboy channel sneaking, and you had the Cartoon Network on the next channel. So, Cartoon Network.
Shit. Yo, just a good old boy. Never meaning no harm.
Terrible.
Yo,
your phone wants to go off right now.
Yo, oh shit, yo,
this show, man. This show always goes off the rails at some point.
Yo, so every time I see you, I'm gonna start singing. Just a good old boy. Never meaning no harm.
Innovation at the time, my G. Like Yo, Pain. On that note, man, you gotta hit us with a letter from Pain. That'll be nice.
A letter?
Yeah.
Well,
can we do that? Or you can't remix the mirror time, so we gotta do a letter from Pain.
We gotta do a letter from Pain.
And now it's time for a letter from Pain.
All right, so I'm gonna give you a letter from Pain. It's not gonna be silly like it normally is. I'm gonna try to make it a little serious. So, I noticed something the other day. So I hope I came up with the saying, and it's just not subconsciously in the back of my head. But being a bad judge of character starts with loving the worst version of yourself. So make sure you're your best version of yourself, and you'll attract better people.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah. So I'm hoping I didn't steal that from somebody.
I definitely wrote that shit on my status a couple of years back.
Yo, Hightower, when you see him, dog, just start singing. Just a good old boy. Never meaning no harm.
Sparring Minds listeners, we're off next week to enjoy the Veterans Day weekend. For all of you guys who are veterans, we appreciate your service, of course.
Oh man,
we will be back the week following that,
right?
With more antics and more shenanigans and more Sparring Minds stuff. Until then, we'll catch you all the time. Pain.
Also, I just want to extend an invitation to people. You can inbox me after the show. I'm having a Friendsgiving game night. Some of the fellas are coming through, so I'd love to have some of our viewers come through and chill out, have some food with us, and play a few games.
I love it.
Lose some money possibly too.
I love it. Yeah.
No dice.
Yeah, no dice. Man. Come on.
No dice.
Not here.
No dice. Well, Pain will be the only one that has the guns if we do play dice, for the record. I think everyone will say, and he doesn't drink or anything like that. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, we should be all good, man. But Sparring Minds, we out. Shout out to Little. Shout out to HT. You know what I mean? Doing what they do, man.
Absolutely.
We'll see y'all next time. I promise.
See y'all in 2 weeks. All right.